Hi again. I liked it. I liked it. I like it, okay? That's just the way it's going to be. This is a great little setup. It's fun. It's easy. Today we're going to go with AeroPress. I've been enjoying the AeroPress, so we're just going to go with regular one. My buddy Ethan, I have to say it, he was really silly. I had the big AeroPress. Where is it? It's over here. Check this out. So I had the big AeroPress for the other day. Like setting it up, and he sends me a picture of me using this, and he goes, me versus versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. And I'm like, dude, you funny, silly goose, man. You silly goose, man. I thought it was goofy. I liked it. I thought it was hysterical. Let's crack into the dice. Let's see here. We got odd, big, even, small. Where's my D20? And we're going to see what we're going to be brewing with today. Odd, even. All right. Odd, big, even, small. We're going with even. So even is going to be Ethiopia. I had this morning on stream. Twitch.tv/JDXCoffee. Stream today was good, man. I had a good time. Thanks for asking. No, but it was good. And I realized something while I was playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for the second time through completely. I realized that maybe some games, it's okay if you decide that you just need a break from them, because man, that game has got me feeling lots of things. So as I said, I've been enjoying my time playing video games on stream, and it's been good. And I was playing through that game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. My goal is to get through all the Final Fantasy titles in a year, streaming the journey. I'm not streaming every single game, because some games are just, I don't think, gonna make a good stream. Also, because of the amount of hours that I stream, I just wouldn't be able to get through all the games in one go. And also variety is the spice of life. That's the thing, Variety, actually, is like a big thing of this. Like, I feel with gaming in general, I have been feeling this, monotony a little bit, especially with this given challenge that I'm doing. And today's cup is really honestly just kind of stream of consciousness. Just let's talk, let's chat, let's kind of, as people have accused me, let's waffle a little bit, which is funny how much people like to be silly about it. But I've been feeling this kind of this draining, I'm playing the same thing over and over again feeling. And there was a video that I was watching, I was watching a creator react to, which is so funny that's where we're at in life, is we watch other people react to things. And that's how that's the new meta. The new meta on YouTube is reacting. It used to be really creative storytelling, like with Casey Neistat or Peter McKinnon. And then it went to high budget, almost movie-like explosion Michael Bay kind of things with Mr. Beast. And now it's just watching someone else react to an idea and then forming your opinion based on someone else's opinion. And that's crazy. That's really crazy. That's insane to think about, that we're at a point where we watch other people and form our opinions based on their opinions. Not based on the idea, but I watch, Asmongold react to something and I'm like, oh yeah, he said it this way, so I think it that way. I'm not saying that that's what I do, but I'm using that as an example. That's so bizarre, and what a weird place. Now, I understand that ideas, you talk with your friends, they have an idea, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But this is different. You're not talking with this person. You're literally observing them observe something. Kind of bizarre. But there was a video that was being watched. I ended up watching the original video. This idea that I've talked about it. And I watched this video actually today. We, as gamers, there was a time where your gamer tag or your actual your profile showed what games you've completed. Steam to a certain extent has that, how much that person's played. But there was this idea of completing stuff, and I've joked about it, having a Steam library that's 1,000 games deep, and you just don't even play any of them. But it's this weird feeling that I've been having lately with video games is looking at a library that is, oh my gosh, I have every single fill in the blank. It's kind of like with my Dragon Ball Z before I really started getting into and reading more of them. Yes, I turned the lights on in between shots. I was comforted by looking at the books themselves and then not reading them, and then I'm like, what an idiot I am. I spent, hundreds of dollars on these books and I haven't read them, but look, they look great, right? And I'm just think about it, right? I think about this idea of having things and not using things. And like when it comes to games, we have so many games to play. And like I go, oh, I like JRPGs, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy, you know, all of the fill in the blank series, all of the this one and that one and the other. And then I go and start playing one or two of them and be like, no, I don't like it. And then I play another one or two. I'm like, no, not for me. And I don't really actually get into the game itself. I rather get into the idea of the game. And then I'm like, oh, why do all games seem the same? And it's because I went on a Steam sale and I purchased 47 JRPGs. And now I have all of these JRPGs, including ones that were like gifted or whatever. And I'm like, well, actually, instead of JRPGs, I just really, really like Final Fantasy X. Like, that is such a crazy thought that I was having while I was like playing games. And it was, kind of sparked out of the idea that I've been playing through the same Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for the past 40 hours, collecting things and doing things. And I'm like, man, there's just so much fatigue in this. And one of the things I saw on Discord that was an interesting thing to hear from somebody is they're like, oh, I got through, I think it was Ape Escape. I was playing through Ape Escape, and in Ape Escape, I didn't get the special ending. Should I go and play through it again to get the ending, or should I just go on YouTube and watch the secret ending? And I'm like, dude, your hobby isn't your job. My job includes my hobby, but my hobby shouldn't feel like a job. I should not feel this obligation. Oh, I gotta finish it. I shouldn't feel this obligation when it comes to something that is supposed to grant me relief from my job. You have to clock in and clock out at work every day. You have to show up because you're committed to, and it's something that you've said, right? But if you buy Splatoon 3 and after 45 minutes you're like, this game really isn't my cup of coffee, so to speak, should I continue to play that game? Should I feel obligated to play that game? And I would go as far as say no. I finished Elden Ring. I didn't get the secret, I didn't get married, so I didn't get the marriage ending. Should I go back and play it again fully to get that ending, or should I just go and watch the ending? And I know we live in a bizarre time to where like you actually could watch the game. A buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, was like, I actually just watch video games because I don't have enough time to play them. I watch them on Twitch, and then if I feel like I want to experience them myself, then I'll go and buy them, and I'll play them myself and have the experience myself. And I thought that's a really fascinating way to go about it. And I'm like, but that's how it was when we were kids. We'd go over to our friend's house. We'd go over to our buddy's house. I remember one guy in particular, a very specific person. His name was Matt. He was our wealthy friend, and he had every single console, every single system, any game that came out, he got it day one, and that was the way. And in the early 2000s, that was a very big deal. A very big deal. Nowadays, people are wildly irresponsible. Everyone's got credit cards and Steam sale and all these different sales. Having games day one is super unimpressive. Not to mention that you can spend extra money with your Game Pass and purchase, early access, which is really just day one. And so this idea of getting games day one isn't actually that obscure anymore. But back in the early 2000s, my buddy getting games day one, this was crazy. We go over, we play the games, watch them if we want to, go home, we buy it, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, like one and done, baby. But for me, I was playing through today on stream Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I was just at this point. I was playing through one of the mini games, and I was like, I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying this. This isn't. And I know that streaming is its own thing. It's a very interesting beast. It's something that is a job. It's a bizarre thing. So it's kind of a weird, but I'm thinking about this from a holistic perspective. So just track with me, guys. Hop on the train. Let's go. Let's chugga. Let's choo. Let's have a good time. And so I was like, I'm not having fun. And so what I ended up saying to chat is I said, hey guys, I'm going to change the game. After I finished this specific thing I'm doing, I was playing one of the mini games, Queen's Blood. I love that mini game. I'm going to switch. I'm not enjoying myself. I can't, and I want to finish, and I'm not finished. I want to play something else. I want to enjoy myself. And it really got me thinking after stream. In fact, I did a lot of decompressing on this. I'm like, what is it about this feeling? Where you sit down, you play a game, and you're like, I'm not having fun. This feels like a job. I feel obligated. And I believe that a lot of it has to do not with the pressures of finishing a game and the inability to because of attention span, TikTok mindset, whatever it may be, which people may blame that. I don't think that's it. What I think it is we as gamers, as, whatever 30s, as people who couldn't afford it then and now can somewhat afford it, but realistically at the purchasing level that we do, can't really afford it the way that we're doing it anyway. I think what ends up happening is we spend a tremendous amount of time and energy trying to get a specific title at a deal and end up having these very, very big libraries. As these libraries grow, they start to weigh on us. And they go like, hey, knock, knock, guess what? You have 157 titles you added to your library in 2 months. You have over 900 titles you've collected over the past 15 years. Your completion rate is actually less than 1%. And your play rate for these games have a collective total of 3 hours per title started. That's crazy. That's not me personally. I'm sure that's someone out there. I made up the numbers. But the sentiment is our hobbies can often, and by hobbies I mean, any hobby really, but I'm just going to say video games can start to feel like a job. Oh, I'm going to get through my whole backlog before I fill in the blank. Well, for some people, that's impossible because they'd actually have to have more lifetime to get through their whole backlog. And there may be a time when you're on Humble Bundle and you're like, hey, for $12, I can get every single Mega Man title from the original all the way through the X. And that sounds cool. But then you sit there and play through a couple and realize I like Mega Man, but not enough to play through all titles. I know someone out there's going to be like, you should. It's a great title. It's a great game. And I would say to them, hey, you should go play through every single Mario game. There are incredible games. And to either of us, we might say, but that doesn't seem fun. For me, playing through every Mega Man doesn't seem fun, but for you, playing through every single Mario may not feel fun. But for me, it does. The thing with video games, I feel like, is we've really kind of started to get off base with a lot of it. Whether it's focusing on hardware, PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. We all know that the correct answer is the Nintendo Switch. And for anyone who's like, oh, curse Nintendo and their highly litigious practices. They made my favorite YouTuber have to take down videos. You know what I say to you? Nothing, because whatever, you can have your own opinion. I just don't care about it myself. I look at this and I go, we really are, I talked about this at length last cup. We really are starting to focus on really weird parts of the thing itself. And I think it's because there's a lack of substance that exists with the very gaming thing. And a lot of us are like, we're not going to let go. We're not going to let go. This is all we have. As parents, as fathers, wives, whatever you may be, as someone who is trying to just get those few minutes, and that's kind of the thing I talk about, just getting your few minutes in of gaming. Like, this is the last thing we got. We've given up the big hobbies we had because it just wasn't sustainable when we got married. We've given up some of the other aspects of our lives that were for the younger man or the younger woman. And that's just, that was a part of it. We've grown out of it or grown into it or can't financially support it or there's just not enough time anymore. We've attached ourselves to different areas of our lives, whether it's growing spiritually, growing physically, growing healthily, whatever it may be, that is taking up more time. And we've done more things in our lives or we have more things in our lives, but there's just that one thing we don't want to let go of. There's just that one very thing that we hold so near and dear, and that is gaming, right? It's something we just don't want to let go of. But we have been kind of disappointed maybe in the past few years, maybe in the past decade with what has been coming out. And unfortunately, because of the way that things have progressed in the gaming space with the long lead times for certain AAA titles and with promises that never really come to fruition, or lastly, the biggest one I think, with a shift in focus from experience to acquisition, we have kind of been trained to spend more time focusing on collecting the thing rather than actually putting it into the device itself and experiencing it for what it was. A memory that I have that sticks with me very, very greatly, that just really is super powerful, is this memory I had by sitting on in a lazy boy chair. My first ever lazy boy chair I ever sat in. I was renting a room from a buddy of mine who I went to Bible school with. My parents had moved out of state. My grandfather had passed away, and I was living with my grandfather at the time. Couldn't live there anymore because they were going to sell the house. And so I needed a place to rent. And as I was looking, I reached out to my buddy. I was like, hey, Nate, I need, do you know any place? He goes, dude, just we'll bachelor it up. It'll be great. Nate was an awesome dude. I went to Bible school with him. He was close friends with my father. He was a really cool dude, someone I respected greatly. I actually looked at as a mentor in a lot of ways. And the coolest thing was he was in his 60s. And so I, as a 25-year-old man about to get married in the next couple of years, got to spend time with someone in his 60s who had extremely successful businesses, who had written books, who had multiple businesses and being a part of ministry and all these. I was learning from a man who had done things in life that was great. This was a really cool experience. I remember so vividly the first time I moved in, I didn't have much. I was just like, cool. He goes, you get the room over there, and the only rule I have in the house is this is my chair, and that's your chair. I'm going to sit in my chair, you're going to sit in your chair, you're good to go. Everything else, you're a man, you understand how to respect someone else. And I just thought it was so funny. He had his own big lazy boy chair. I had my lazy boy chair. He had another lazy boy chair there. And so I sat in my lazy, and they both were perfectly angled towards the TV. It was great. I sat in my lazy boy chair, same lazy boy chair that I sat in to play Breath of the Wild, because when that man moved off to Africa to be on the board of a school that he had started, I got to stay in the home as he sold it. We couldn't live there permanently because it was in a senior living place. Let me tell you, if you ever have an opportunity, young men out there, if you ever have an opportunity to rent a room from someone in a senior living community, mobile place, it's the best, dude. It's the best. A lot of midnight ambulance rides. A lot of visits from the midnight ambulance. Not my guy. He was great. Healthy as a horse. He was also next to a cemetery. That's not a joke. It really was next to a cemetery. At any rate, a short trip. Stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. Inappropriate. I remember sitting there, coming home from work, having a couple days off. I had my Nintendo 3DS. He used to make fun of me, but he's like, hey, I read books, you play video games, no big, buddy. But he used to make fun of me. I had my Nintendo 3DS. In that was Ocarina of Time. I remember so vividly sitting in the lazy boy chair after Memorial Day Murph. So Murph being a specific workout that CrossFit, 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, another mile run while wearing a 20-pound weight vest. Every Memorial Day we do it. Fun thing. I do it more times during the year because I really enjoy that workout. Neither here nor there. It was after Murph. I was tired. I was beat. Came home, made my pancakes, sat down, ate. Oh, side note. He used to make pancakes every Saturday. And was like, yo, you have to eat these pancakes. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm paleo, healthy. He goes, oh, okay, cool, man. You work out every single day. You're not going to have one pancake with me? And I was like, nah, I'm good. And he goes, well, here's the deal. I'm making pancakes for myself, and I'm making pancakes for you. And so if you don't sit down and eat pancakes, that's fine. I'll just throw the pancakes away. I ate pancakes every Saturday. It was awesome. It was awesome. But anyway, I remember sitting there after Murph playing Ocarina of Time on my Game Boy. Well, it's not Game Boy 3DS. I call it a Game Boy, dude. Just back off. I'm 36 years old. It's called a Nintendo and it's called a Game Boy. Shout out to everybody who still calls the Switch a Nintendo. Hey, yo, I got my Nintendo. Because that's what it is. Sucker. I don't know. Anyway, I was sitting there with my game 3DS. And I was playing Ocarina of Time, full 3D, because I like the 3D effects. I was in heaven. It was the best. I 100%ed that game. All I had to my name during that time was a 3DS. I had a pillow, a few books from Bible school. Actually, it was like 2 big, huge Apple boxes of books, theology books from Bible school when I was going to Bible school, and some clothes. My MacBook Pro. That's like it, dude. It's all I had. I didn't have any of this. None of it. None of it. All I had was that. It was incredible. It was incredible. I didn't have libraries and libraries and libraries of games. I had maybe a dozen games. Maybe. I don't even think. I think I had Ocarina of Time. I had Majora's Mask. Link Between Worlds for sure had that game. I had... What else I have, dude? I had Mario Kart because I used to play that with my buddy. We used to scream and yell and have a good time. Shout out to Steven. I had Super Smash Brothers. For sure had Super Smash Brothers. Went crazy on that. Animal Crossing, because I wanted so hard to be an Animal Crossing guy. I never got into it. It's too cute. It's not brutal enough. And still, Stardew Valley still is too cute. I want a little more brutality. A little bit more like a smidge, dude. Imagine Elden Ring. Farm Sim. I like that. I like that. Shout out. That's what I had. It was bliss. I played the games. I took out the 3DS at work that was in my pocket. And what did I have in it? I had the cartridge. What was on the cartridge? It was Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time. That's it. That was it. And I finished them. I miss that. And I don't know where it got lost. I don't know how it got lost. But it did. With the the introduction of massive gaming libraries, insane sales. If you don't buy now, you might have to pay $6 extra or full price later. This thing has created a beast that ends up creating this entity or this idea that you have to get it on sale, you have to get it early, you have to, but you don't have to play it. And that for me is something that I've really been thinking a lot about lately. And it's because of games that I have now that I'm forcing myself to play, whether it's for stream, because I want to be relevant or whatever it may be. Guys, I'm being a little too honest today. So, cool. Hope you don't mind. Papa's being honest. It's just like, I know that a lot of this feeling comes from the streaming aspect of things. And with streaming, subtle placement, play. With the streaming aspect of things, I feel a lot of pressure because I'm trying to create some sort of consistency, some narrative that exists. Hey, I play all the Final Fantasy games and whatever, which I already stated once. It's great, it's fun. But right now, I keep looking over here. You want to see what I'm looking at right now? Looking at this. I've been playing this at night. A mod retro, not a plug. I don't care. You don't have to go get a mod retro. You certainly don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm playing Link's Awakening on the mod retro at night. And it's so nice. I pick it up. It's just, I'm good to go. I'm having fun with it. And I'm like, this is freaking incredible. And yesterday I talked in the cup about PC gaming and how, like, if I was to do it again, would I get a PC? And I wouldn't as much. And there's some comments I got which were like, hey, dude, remember, like, who's going to manage your library? Like, you were all about, like, you only trust Steam to manage your library. And it's because I was attaching my gamer identity to this thought of my games are more important. The game itself is more important than the activity. And that's the fallacy. That's the problem. I think that's the weight, actually. Actually, that's it. We're discovering this together. That's it. It's that the game as a concept has become more important, more of a talking piece, more of a thing than the actual playing and experiencing of it itself. I talked in the last cup. If you missed the last cup, go back, watch. Super long, I know, but I talked in the last cup about how games, like, you used to, like, call up your buddy and be like, yo, I'm switching the jobs around in Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. Like, I'm switching them out. I want the job structure to be just a smidge different. I don't love the job structure, so I'm actually turning my red mage to a blue mage. I'm going to try that out. I want to see how that works. And, like, those conversations I remember having at the lunch tables in high school. I would never, some people are like, take me back to high school. Dude, no way, dude. I have the best life. You kidding me, dude? I got 2 beautiful children. I got a wife. Life is the best, dude. But I love that. I think about that. I'm like, dude, that was it. That was it. Yo, what's your build on Elden Ring right now? What are you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm doing Great Sword. It's super sick. I like the Greatsword build. I got the Blaze Armor. I think that's my run, and I'm just been playing that. I'm going to run it. My buddy's like, oh, I'm trying to do the dual something. Radon. I think Radon is the name. I'm going with the Radon build right now. I'm checking it out. So far, the mechanics have been really fun. I've been enjoying it. Dude, that's the conversation. Oh, man, just talking about it right now. It just hits, bro. I'm gonna play Elden Ring tomorrow. It was supposed to be Final Fantasy, but I'm playing Elden Ring tomorrow, dude. And by tomorrow, actually, you're watching this right now. Literally, I'm playing Elden Ring on twitch.tv/JDXCoffee. Like right now. Right now, I'm playing Elden Ring. There's just a powerful thing that comes with experience. And forcing yourself to I got to do this because this is what everyone's doing. I have to buy this because it's on sale. I have to do that. That ain't it, dude. That ain't it. Nah, that ain't it. It can't be. It can't be because it never was. You never did. The FOMO, right? Oh, I gotta get this cool looking Game Boy. Man, it's the FOMO, man. I gotta get it. It's so cool. It's a little Game Boy. I don't want to miss out. Dude, it's freaking, just emulate it. Like, don't get it. Hey, thank you, Mod Retro, for sending it to me. It's cool, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, you gotta pick it up. Also, it's sold out everywhere, so like, you can't. But like, it's just, dude, it's just a Game Boy. It's well built. It's super rad. I think it's awesome. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you can't have a good video game experience. I'm getting so crazy right now. You're not gonna get a good video game experience without it. Nah, dude. No, it's just not true. It's not true. See, these are the kind of cups I need to do more of, man. I'm just thinking out loud, just letting my mind go, letting the coffee hit, dude. I'm talking to you. Like, I'm literally just like, I feel like there's someone right there. I feel it, dude. I feel it. I feel like we're chatting. It's just something that really hit me today, dude. It really did. Like, I was sitting there just going, man, this ain't it. This ain't it. And as I like deconstructed it, overthought it, because that's what we do here. We overthink, overdrink, right? Overdrink coffee. Obviously not alcohol, because I don't drink alcohol at all. I'm a boring man. I drink water and coffee. Literally, that's all I drink. Sue me. So, I am sitting here overthinking and overdrinking, and I'm like, man, this idea of being a part of the wave was also heavily hitting me today, because I was having an ADHD moment, not feeling motivated. I made this commitment to get through the Final Fantasy games, and I'm like, dude, this is just hurting me. I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy with playing video games. And in doing so, I was like, man, let's see if we can catch a hype. Let's see if we can catch a wave. And we're talking about Monster Hunter. My Monster Hunter's coming out on Friday. Man, that might be it. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be so cool. Like, and then people started talking about it, and I started looking through the screenshots as they're talking. They can't see I'm looking through the screenshots. I'm watching little videos of people playing Monster Hunter, and I'm literally watching it going like, seems like the most boring game I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? This is something that people love, that's going to be so popular. It's like, this could be my ticket, right? Like, you know, you think to yourself, this could be my ticket, you know? There's no tickets. There's no one selling. There's no train. Hop on the hype. Nah, man. This is a unique situation because I, for one, do make content around video games. And so trends are something that you capitalize on. A little peer behind the curtain. You capitalize on to gain an audience. And for me, the unfortunate reality of it is I don't think that the trends of games that are coming out right now are that good. I'm not a fan of Monster Hunter. I ended up playing for about 45 minutes, and I was like, nope, I can't do it. I can't do it. MMOs don't really tickle my fancy. Call of Duty is boring as all get out. Fortnite became stale. I have no interest in playing Grand Theft Auto 6, so that conversation is dead on arrival. Cyberpunk to me seems odd. I can't stop thinking about Chrono Trigger. Final Fantasy X literally warms my heart. Playing through games like Link's Awakening, Breath of the Wild make me feel good inside, and I feel very, very complete as a gamer. And these things I go, well, surely I can't be the guy who just plays Pokemon Yellow. Sometimes you gotta be the guy that goes, hey, yeah, I'm still playing Link's Awakening for the 17th time. Yeah, when I feel stressed out, I literally sit down for 3 hours and play Super Mario World start to finish. Yeah, sometimes I just put on an orchestrated version of the Zelda music and sit in my room and drink coffee. You know, we like what we like, and expanding our libraries because of sales and being forced to play through contemporary titles because that's the cool thing to do may not be the way to play. What happens if you skipped the next Call of Duty game? What happens if you decided you weren't going to pick up Monster Hunter Wilds and be a part of the hype? What happens if a game that you don't know about and you're like, I'm not sure, you didn't purchase and you stuck to maybe a game that you've always been wanting to play? What happens if instead of getting something new, you replayed something of old? What happens when your gaming doesn't feel like a job and it feels like something that you want to? Why are games tending to create instances in which you feel like, I got to collect all these things to move on? I'm looking at you, Rebirth. And it's not, I can't wait to find out what happens next with Yuna. What happened? One of the last story-based games that really actually captivated me and completely drew me in was Elden Ring. And Elden Ring's story is very loose, but I can't stop thinking about it. It's the most recent one. Before that, I actually fell in love with the game Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I thought that game was fantastic. There's a good amount of collection that can happen there, but you don't have to. You can just continue on the story. It feels so natural because there's no leveling up. There's no, sure, there's some skills, there's some fighting stuff you can do, but it's very minimal. It feels like a natural progression, a very good game. These, for me, were experiences that reminded me of 2010 or 2005 when gaming was incredible for me. 1994, 96 when I was playing for the first time some of these, my favorite franchises. I don't have an answer for you because I didn't know we were going to get here today. So I can't really close this out with some profound statement being like, hey, try this. Instead, I am going to ask you for a favor. I'm going to ask you to comment below your thoughts, if I've earned it. Right? I want to know. I just want to know how you feel about this. I'm genuinely curious about it. And then after you've formulated those thoughts on this video, because this is coming out on a Tuesday, I do usually stream on Wednesdays, I want to go through these comments live over on twitch.tv/jdxcoffee. I want to go through the comments. I want to talk about it. And so I won't respond to any of your comments that you leave on this video in text form, but rather I want to read through them all. Because I feel like there's something here, right? I don't know. I feel like this idea isn't like a small one. This might be a big one. So let me know. Let me know in the comments below. All right, I'm gonna finish up. I gotta rinse off. I did a workout before this. I gotta go pick up my kids from my in-laws. It's great. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching this. If you want, leave a comment if you want to talk about it. If not, come join me. I'm playing Elden Ring. I'm playing Elden Ring. I'm just doing it, and that's just the way it's gonna be. Simple as that. You guys are awesome. You guys are super rad. As always, play more, be kind. See ya.